Welcome back to Yildiz Readings 5D. Grab a cuppa, sit back and relax. All the information for bookings is at the end of this video. We're here to do your reading, Leo, and I've literally been trying to muck with this mane here. So, I think all of us from a Venus attribute of things, we're trying to get back on track, and we're going to channel the energy as to, how this month is going to go for you. We're going to have a look at singles, couples, those of you who are on the fence, as well as every other area in your life that you need to know. Now, most of us, as I mentioned in every single video this month, we are recovering from last year. Now, if you look back, it's been a bit of a tedious ride, and I think it's been for all of us collectively. If those of you that don't know anything to do with ascension symptoms, it's really like a wellness report to do with the energy. We have been in the thick of it, okay? We had eclipses last year. You guys are sun energy. You're still recouping. I do feel this month you're very purposeful and mindful. So this is going to be a brand new beginning for you. We do need to move through that full moon in Leo and really, through that full moon towards the end of the month, what you're going to find is you're going to find this fresh feeling towards you. If you were initially last month feeling quite in the thick of things and quite frustrated, this Mercury retrograde can pose some issues when it does come to your communication style, reflecting upon your connections, your contracts. It is going to dissipate and calm down, but you do need to give it about 2 weeks and try and be super patient. I would guide you to be cautious with your throat chakra. So good time to clear the third eye and the throat chakra. Do some guided meditation. Keep your fluid up. If your body has been feeling a little bit under the weather and you've been, maybe having 2 days sleep, 2 days no sleep, I should say, and then a night's sleep, it's part of the transits and it is affecting our aura. And I do feel there's this strictness coming through with you. You have elder as the crowning energy. It's this maturity. It's, having to be the right person. I do feel some of you, your guide on the other side. It could be an ancestor on the other side who is actually supporting and guiding you. I also feel your crown chakra. Again, keep your fluid up. Please keep your fluid up. Mercury retrogrades in Aquarius initially, which is transiting in your Venus house. We are still in Venus shadow, so to speak. It's moving direct. Where also Mercury is dipping into the house of Capricorn where Venus was. So it's pretty heavy, both with your schedule, your emotions, the burdens that are on your plate. It feels like we're a circus clown really juggling everything. It is going to dissipate. It is going to ease up and things will calm down. Now, at the moment, you just want peace and quiet. You want peace and quiet. You may not want to talk to anyone. You might just want some space. Yes, I do feel some of you are wanting to have communication, but you don't want to fight. You want everything to be peaceful and lovely. And I think all of us collectively do. There could have been a subject really last month to now that you're wanting to iron out, but you're thinking about it and you're thinking, hey, maybe that was all that was said and done is done. This again can come up due to the fact we're in the retrograde. You do have a situation potentially that you're dealing with, but you could feel that you just don't feel so sparky initially and you're still recovering. I am sensing, especially from your previous cards, in the past tense position, you're going back over an offer. Now, this could be a love interest. This could be relating to a past tense situation. And I feel, don't think all your blessings are in the past. A lot of the growth that wasn't happening last year was due to the fact that we had Sagittarius in the South Node and we're still semi-recovering. So this year is an opportunity for us in that area to now have success. For you directly, it was linked to maybe your family, your children, your love life. I know, yes, it's retrograde at the moment, and I did pre-warn Leos that this would be a testing time in the first 1 to 2 weeks of Feb. But as Mercury goes direct, you can find that thought, your communication, you can be more direct in your approach towards it, but I don't think you're going to be taking any rubbish. But we do need to be careful that even though we're feeling that vibration, we're actually realizing the cause and effect in life, that there is consequences for actions. So if you're really wanting to iron the creases out with a particular individual, all we really can do is look at our side and navigate that. I do feel you're you're questioning your path forward, you're questioning, your life purpose and what you're doing. But at the same time, you feel kind of like returning back to a situation to correct it. So some of you could be looking at, again, your trajectory, where you're going, what you're doing, and how to get back. Now we're going to channel the energy of singles first. We're then going to move into couples and those of you on the fence. Now, for those of you on the fence, it could be that you're single or coupled. There can be messages in it. And then into your general life update of what to look for with your health, your well-being, your career, your money, and other. So let's get into it. Oh, okay. For those of you that are moving into a new direction, you can be thinking, gosh, am I cursed? This is, for those of you that are single, it could be you thinking, gee, when am I going to meet, I always say this, my nan used to say, Omar Sharif. When am I going to meet Omar Sharif? When is this situation going to come to a head? Some of you can feel that you haven't really had enough time to really invest in self. And that can be, doing simple things that actually bring you pleasure. Again, because of the retrograde, you'll find that you are deeply in thought and reflection. Sometimes we can go into victim consciousness in that, and rightfully so. They can be some real tedious things that have happened in our life that are quite hurtful, and we need to look at them. And also, in a shadow phase, when we are viewing those things, it's not that we intentionally want to, be sitting there groveling over spilt milk, but it's when it's pain and it's something fresh, or it's something that's been an ongoing circumstance. It can be a thought that we're thinking, gee, where is my time? Where is my love life? What do I want to do? I feel some of you are being a little bit critical on yourself. This can be to do with your appearance and your well-being. Again, with Venus retrograde, it can be coming up. I also feel some of you are actually judging a circumstance of a previous situation and feeling as though that person maybe has not been there for you in the way that you felt they really could. For some of you, this is merely a memory of a previous energy. For some of you, it can be a twin flame. I do feel the bigger picture of things is I do think this person is moving towards you, and there is an energy that is going to be coming towards you in your life in a higher octane energy. And really, we do have a lot more luck in 2022 because we do have, for the masculine attributes of love interests, they're able to address those things between now and the next 6 months, and they're not in the south node, so it's better for relationships. And both for the yin and yang, for males and females collectively, whatever, body you came into this world with, it is more conducive this year, in the year of 2022, for connections. I'm feeling there was something in the past that really did put you out of sync. I also feel your heart, you're healing your heart. I do feel you'll be opening your heart this month. And yes, I do feel there could be some shadow work that you're slightly dealing with, but I do feel it's healing and clearing it. That's why I really said, third eye and heart chakra clearing for you guys. I do feel some information that came towards you, or maybe you're trying to gauge it. This could be you're trying to understand how to address the circumstance in your life. I do feel people around you, and this is more for the younger energies. I feel there's friends that are trying to tear you up with someone. But again, I do feel you've got to be careful what you hear. I'm hearing a lot to do with Chinese whispers at the moment. It's like, things traveling through the grapevine during Mercury retrograde, not taking everything as gospel, sitting with it if it comes up as a trigger. But I do feel it's like you're trying to keep your cards close to your chest, but there is a potential, especially with the transits, that you could get quite verbal if somebody's really testing you. So we do need to keep our wits, in control. I can hear the phone. Jeez, you guys are going to get a phone call. I feel at a drop of a hat, keep your schedule quite open. I do feel there could be a date. I also feel there could be some circumstances in your foundation. For some of you, you can be thinking that maybe this individual is with a third party. Maybe this person is with somebody else. But I also feel that, in your own life, you're trying not to be your own worst enemy. You're trying not to be, You're trying to be wise when it comes to this. I do feel a wound really relating to maybe, you know, where the connection was in the past and what the drama was. Maybe there was an external energy. I'm going to pull a clarifier on this because this one's coming up quite interestingly. So, I do feel you could have a face-off with another feminine. And there is something to do with your role that is really, how can I put it? There's an element of stress. There's an element of stress and a burden. You also can be thinking, gee, you know, what happened? You know, nice girls and nice guys, are they the ones that get burnt? Am I the only one here? And I feel if you're going to hear some gossip, and I feel you got to be careful from whom you're hearing it from. This is what I'm feeling. There is, okay. I feel some of you feel this situation is, this one's going to be a little bit longer than usual. I kind of get this feeling there is a circumstance that you are feeling if you don't hurry up, you're missing out. Some of you are also going to be making a major decision towards a connection. And I think because you've sat there and you've had time to think about it during January, I feel you're going to be dealing with it this month. What is the outcome, please? I do feel there's stress levels coming up to do with work. If you can actually address that, I think it will take some of the energy and angst off. I also feel you'll be more open to working on this if you can see if the other party's open to it. But I do feel the need for a conversation here. For some of you, I do feel if you're single, and this is not twin flame related, I feel you may meet an individual through work. I do feel this year it's looking pretty good. Look, I do feel you potentially can be getting married this year. But ultimately, I feel it's going to be with, you know, more in alignment with where you are. Yeah, this is a potential for your zodiac sign. I feel don't get to a point you don't say what you need to say, but also don't do it in a toxic fashion because, you know, we're going to blow things out of proportion, especially because we do have at the moment Jupiter and Pisces. We need to look at our psychology when we are communicating, especially during Mercury retrograde. Think of what you want that outcome to be. That is what you have control over at the moment on your side of the fence. But I do feel you can be having a very direct conversation. For those of you that feel you're waiting for this person to contact you, I do feel some of you may be calling them. Others of you who are single and it's just fancy free, not really fussed, coming to terms with the past and moving forward, I do feel there is a potential you could meet someone through work. Be careful who you tell things to. I do feel if you have a secret admirer, it's coming out. And I do feel, again, you got to be cautious who you tell. Some of you are going to have more than one option. Okay, that's an interesting download. Some of you may be attracting an actual married person. Just be careful that they're free. Be careful that they're free. And try, because yes, it could be that they're actually having dramas with an individual. And yes, I do see that potentially they may leave that circumstance, but just step back and allow that to actually cycle out if that's the case, because I do see that as one message. Couples, let's have a look at yours. Oh, okay. You're hoping everything's going to pan out, but there could be a circumstance surrounding you at the moment that is looking like, gee, you know what, why didn't we see that coming? I also feel your schedule is affecting you actually having, you know, that romance, having that downtime. I feel by about the second week it can come into play. I do feel you're trying to cram. It's like cramming homework and trying to get everything done. For the last few weeks, I would say, yeah, potentially within this connection, it can be that it has been the last few months. I do really feel that there has been this element of busyness. I feel there's been a little bit like a headless chook, you know, running around and things not going according to plan. Some of you may be considering moving. Some of you, it's almost all going, you know, you're going to be busier than you think. So if the family unit isn't working together, it's going to cause some conflict. And I do feel it's really going to require team and orientation, because I do think the things that you're doing, it's really, use this time at the moment to restructure. But I do potentially see your partner also gaining more income. I do feel for some they may be transitioning through jobs or going up a tier level, but they're looking at how they directly can attract more income. It might have been a bit slow from last year to now, but I do see it actually increasing. But I do feel for you, Leo, you know, there's something quite large calling you. But I do think if you need to make a major decision to do with your work, I think it needs to be made in the, wait till about the second week, but a good time to put resumes out if that's what you're needing to do. I do feel some of you do have an opportunity here, and be careful, you know, there is fertility for the next 6 months for you guys. So if you did want to increase your family unit, there is a possibility for that to happen. I do feel you, for those of you that do have the energy of a dreaded mother-in-law, not all of you do, some of you really have great mother-in-laws. There does appear to be a person here who's putting their 2 cents in. It can be causing a little bit of conflict. This is to do with a social event. I feel it's a social event. I feel it's something coming up. You're just doing you, but there seems to be some tip for tat. I do feel if you need to say something, you will. This could even be your own mother. Oof. You're going to be so blunt and to the point. I also see you sticking up for your partner. I see that it's like they're doing their best to get everything together. You may hear something that somebody is saying. Again, I feel you have a lot of trust in this situation. It's coming through very strongly. There is something coming to a head though, and I do feel if there has been complications in your relationship, it should start easing up as we move towards the end of the month. You're going to have to hold your cool though. I do feel your energy is coming through extremely strong. I do feel this person loves you quite a lot. I don't get a negative feeling towards it, but I do feel they do love you quite a lot. They have had a bit of tedious energy inside their life, but they're doing all they can to directly transform it. It's not they don't have the intention here to transform it. Some of you could be moving. Those of you on the fence, heck, you guys are like, okay, am I cursed? Am I cursed? Do I have a slap of bad luck or what? How do we get this? You know, am I waiting in vain? Is there something I need to directly do? I do feel there's something from the past coming back that needs addressing, but once it's addressed, you are going to be able to get success and move forward. I do feel some of you, again, it's a very large energy. There is either a conflict with a third party, a karmic, or it's a feminine energy. There is a feminine energy here. It's somebody close to home. I do feel it's in a family. A card just dropped. Let's have a look what it is. Yeah, it's family. They've got a lot to say. You're going to get some information. If you've been waiting on information, it's coming towards you. If things are hidden from us, I feel in the first 2 weeks, we're really going to see what these things are. And I feel for some of us, we could be quite gobsmacked. Some of you are wondering whether this is going to work. Look, I feel, you know, you really did want this situation to work, but you're not willing to do it on your own. You're trying to focus very heavily on what you can do to create stability in finances. I feel some of you have had some angst and felt out of sync that the give and take and the connection wasn't there. I also feel that, you know, if you can secure a foundation to a degree for yourself, it may take some of the pressure off this connection. Some of you are still healing from a previous betrayal. This may have been inside the circumstance. Some of you in your environment, you're not directly feeling completely safe. You know, I do think in the next, it could be a lot of changes really happening inside of your life when it does come to home. But also with whom you mix with. You may find as your schedule increases, I just don't think you're going to have the time. You have been quite stuck. You've been wondering how to move forward. I feel you're going to address it this month. I do feel the risky point for that will be towards the moon and Leo. But I do feel whatever you're stuck on, it's like it's coming out. It's like it's coming out really abruptly, and it's frustration. Journal, really journal, because I feel if you journal, you're going to see where these blockages are, where the problems are, and then, you know, if some of it's in your control, you can start shifting that, and that restabilizes that foundation. I feel ultimately you want change. Ultimately, you can see the evidence of, is it a doable situation or is it not? I do feel, again, you're getting gossip, and it's because of that you might have held it in. You're trying not to rock the apple cart, but the apples are already rocking. So I feel you're going in and you're addressing it. Your career sector is set to grow. If you are trying to really look at how you can balance your income coming in, what you do, you know, some of the things you're going to learn through this year and through this month. I do feel money will start trickling in. There can be some added expenses in the first 2 weeks. I also feel that, again, be careful driving. I do see there's a potential for some of you where you may get a fine. You need to, you know, make sure your insurances are paid during Mercury retrograde. Have a look at the things. Some of you, if you're wanting to buy, you're better off to wait till March if you can. If you can't, wait till about the 3rd week of February, and that's the safest time, but make sure you read the fine print. Okay. Some of you, a person from the past is coming back. It's up to you to be open to seeing that this can change. I also see, for those of you that have children, that circumstance can be changing, but again, this can actually be a very fertile time for you. I do see between your health and your well-being and your it's like you're going to be cramming homework. So if you find you're super busy, whatever structures you're building, whatever routines you're building, whatever things you're doing for other people, it is a direct routine. You're actually going to see, by having a very strict routine, you're going to get the success out of it. I also feel when it does come to money, try to not go to extremities with your finances. You can be a little bit more generous at this point, but you do need to just hold a little bit back until about the mid-month point. I also see, as I mentioned, for those of you looking for employment, some of you have a pay rise on the way. Others of you are looking at how you are directly dealing with your money. So this is, okay, is this affecting my psychology? I'm doing this job, I bloody hate it. What am I going to do? I feel you're going to look at that, but there are wonderful opportunities for you to gain financially this month. Separately, if you were going to travel, there could be a wound coming up for you to do with long distance travel. That may be a person is moving away. It may be a loved one that's transitioned over. Any shadow work that you do in that area, that person, like I mentioned, is actually around you. But there can be returning to our roots. There's a lot to do with returning to our roots. Having a look at that, it's going to make sense about the 2nd or 3rd week. But if you needed to go somewhere and you had this strong tradition to you, your dream states can be giving you information at the moment, but I do feel a loved one on the other side is trying to protect you. Now, anything else before I love you and leave you? Some of you, a person that you had an argument with, there needs to be a conversation with her. This can be a love interest. I do feel it can be fixed, it can be healed, but you need to take the, higher octane approach. Both of you on each side of the fence have been dealing with issues, so I feel sometimes we can accidentally take it out on those we love the most. I do feel you're going to get back on track, but there is an emotion relating to the past. You're trying to be calm, but it's like you need to go back to go forwards. And if that's happening, it's not a bad thing, guys. It is showing that you are going to have the success. We will check in during the month. Come through and have a look at the twin flame updates. Otherwise, I'll see you during the week. If you haven't clicked the bell and subscribed, I'd love to see you. Come date me, as I say, on YouTube. And for 2022, we have a lot more new content. Romance reads, twin flame updates. Yes, we have the Members Hub online, so come through and join us. And giveaways. Very separately, 2 channels being launched, as well as the membership hub on my website. So please click the bell. I'll see you soon, and come and join us for the lives and the super chats. Any questions, DM me.